Greetings, my beautiful people. Today we're going to discover everything about your inner magic, basically an outer magic also, your magical powers overall. The idea of this reading came to me because I received this extremely beautiful new oracle deck, and when I opened it, I saw this phrase, "We see your magic," and suddenly I realized that I want to do a reading on this theme. What is your magic? Obviously, we're going to use this beautiful oracle, and after the part where you need to choose your group, if you're interested to see deeper into those cards, just stay tuned and I'm going to show you them. I'm not sponsored, unfortunately, or fortunately, who knows? I just really love cards. The beauty of the objects with which I work contains maybe half of my motivation to even work with them, just because they are like pieces of art, works of art of other artists, and I really enjoy using them. So for today, we're going to have 3 groups. Group number 1, the observer. Group number 2, the creator. And group number 3, the alchemist. And if you like to choose your group with crystals, I'm going to add them right now. So for group 1, we have rose quartz circle. For group 2, we have fluorite tower. And for group 3, we have moss agate star. You can choose your group based on the card or based on the crystals, or maybe you are drawn to more than one group. It is normal to experience this. By the way, if you like my style, how I read, and you want to receive personal reading from me, you can order them from my Etsy page. The link would be down below. And the most important news for now is that I have a discount time for this new year period. It would be till the end of January, so please visit my Etsy shop and see if something would resonate with you and you would like to get a reading from me. Welcome everyone who is curious. I want to look on this Threads of Fate Oracle Rose Edition. I saw it in one video, I guess, and I fell in love, and I just sent the link on this oracle to my friend, and it's pretty expensive, but oh my gosh, how beautiful it is. The book is also stunning, and it contains 55 cards, which are separated on elemental cards. For example, how this card Get Creative would be connected to the water element, and also ether cards, ether or ether, I guess, like the alchemist, which basically contain the personal archetypal larger concepts. And let's just look at this beautiful deck together. I'm curious what ideas for readings will come to me using this deck, because of course every time when I receive new deck I want to use it in my every reading. It's obvious, something new is always, I love this one. I was thinking about this option for this reading, the Weaver. So basically it's not so easy on the first view to understand the meaning of this. However, why not? Look at this, ancestor with roots, very beautiful. Pretty good description. Ascension. But still, for me, I already did your reading here, and I can tell you that it was actually very easy to connect to these cards, to these images, and when I read about the description in the book, usually it was very similar to what I felt the moment when I saw the card. Very interesting. Okay, strength, creator. There are a lot of them, 55. I'm not sure if I'm going to show you absolutely every card, but you already can feel the vibe, overall vibe of this deck. And even if it is a lot of expensive, as a person who really appreciates artwork, right? I decided to do tarot exactly because it is a way how can I help others by using also art. It is my interpretation how I can implement art in helping others, like psychologically, spiritually, right? By using beautiful cards. Because to be honest, for me personally, I don't need cards to read your mind. And when I work with people one-on-one, I can easily understand and feel what's happening in their soul and with their life. It's just I was blessed with those talents, but cards, they open the field for interpretation, and for many people it's much easier to understand what I'm talking about and understand why I'm talking about things when they see a card and when I'm explaining them what is basically what associations this card draws from me, I guess. And I don't know, what about you? Why do you like cards? Because obviously people who watch my videos should know a lot about cards. However, I know that there are some people who don't use tarot so often. Anyhow, I'd be really glad to hear from you in comment section why you like tarot and oracle cards, and also what do you prefer more, tarot or oracle? Because me personally, I prefer more oracle, even if I know how to do tarot, even if I have a lot of decks. Still, oracles, they are so different and beautiful, and in my opinion they give more possibility for the unknown to enter to our reading, to our discussion. That's what I think. Anyhow, let's move on to our first reading right now. All right, group 1, your choice for today, this card, the Observer and pink rose quartz crystal. And you know what? Suddenly I realized, looking at your card with crystal, that it looks like everything bagel. Did you see the everything everywhere all at once? If I think that most of you who decided to choose this group did. And this is like put onto the bagel. When you put everything on the bagel, all your hopes, dreams, salt, pepper, everything that exists in the world, it's collapsed on itself. And you know that I realized nothing matters. This was a very bad play and my translation of the quote, but yeah, I hope you were not cringing as me right now. However, still, the idea here is that you are the one who can connect dots in this life. I'm going to read about this card. Obviously, it's my absolutely new deck, so I don't know a lot about cards. However, even before we open this beautiful book and look at your card meaning, I can already tell you that you are this observer, a person who likes to watch others. You know, maybe it's even some form of your you like to spend your time watching others, right? But listen me. By the fact that you can watch others and you can connect dots in their behavior, in their reasons and motivations, you can be the one who can really help others by this. Like, you can have psychological talents, you can be some form of a counselor, or you just that one friend everyone tries to ask for help when something happens, and like you just receive a lot of satisfaction from seeing how those threads of fate present themselves during time. You kind of like to watch how things change, and maybe for many of you, because we're talking about magic, right? This is the ability to see much, much deeper than others. This is the ability to maybe even see to the past lives or further in the future, or just deeper in the moment of the human life, of the human heart. I see interesting that here we have those beautiful wings, but they look like ears for me. So I feel that some of you might not only have your magic in the ability to see more. I really sorry, I don't remember those words, claircognizant, clairsentience. I just forgive me. Someday I will be able to remember all of them. But the idea is that you have powers in your eyes, in your inner eyes, in your third eye, and you also have powers in your ears, so you can hear things that help you and help others. You can even read minds. I feel this. You can read thoughts of other people. So let's see what we have in the book for you. By the way, the card that you decided to choose today represents your truth base of your magic. It's like something that you were born with, something that you cannot exclude from your life. You might run from it as much as you want, but better it'd be to accept it. And all other powers, even physical powers, they arise in your body from this base. We are all different, right? The observer, someone who sees, and you also like to be not in the center of the situation where everything happening. You like to be as this gray cardinal looking from the side, however having all those threads to manipulate situation. We can manipulate from good intentions, and I don't see anything bad in it. Anyway, it's just the word manipulate has so many negative associations usually. However, what I thought right now? Obviously, if you have this power, ability to manipulate others, sometimes when you are deep in your child self, in your darker self, but by child self, I mean exactly like my wounded child, right? My personality that doesn't have adult answers. So when you are in this state, you can tend to manipulate others, not from the best state, I guess, but don't judge yourself too much for it. It's normal to have this in yourself. All powers have two sides of them. Any power can be blessing and any power can be a curse. And this is what it means to own your power and to actually use it, to know about your shadow and your light, to know how to balance and to know how to step out of your shadow when you see that it doesn't serve you or harm others. Anyway, the observer indicates a time where you are being encouraged to suspend judgment or conclusions and simply witness. Humans are always trying to sort out their external world. We want to process it, make sense of it, and figure out our place within it. It is our way of trying to feel secure and comfortable within our environment. However, this can also reach extremes where we are automatically forming opinions without gathering enough information. The observer asks you to pause and simply pay attention. This may feel passive, but in observing, we are already cultivating change. The balanced observer here, listen, that's important for you. We were talking about balance of your power, right? So the balanced observer intuitively knows when to be present and when to move. They watch, but they do not do so in a way that harms others. Many people may interpret them as apathetic. In reality, they understand that there is a time and a place for action. So this description of balanced observer, this is a description of adult you, of wise you. Is sometimes you feel that like you feel in rush and you feel that you're forced to make a decision. However, it is not aligned with your intuition and with your heart. You're feeling everything right. It is definitely not aligned with your true self. So being a slower person, being someone who takes their time to observe and to cautiously think about situation is what healthy for you and for your intuition and your magic. Maybe it's not the best decision to make unpredictable, sudden decisions, right? Anyhow, I think you feel me. An unbalanced observer becomes too stagnant. They can see how everything functions but do not believe that they are able to affect change as they are only one person. This can be a form of bypassing, as they might not stand up when it is needed. Two problems here, right? Acting too fast or not acting at all, and being in this state of depressive episode where you like lack of hope in this world, lack of hope in your life. So if you ever experience those episodes where you thought that nothing can be changed, like it doesn't matter, I cannot help this world or help my family or help myself, you know that this is just a shadow part of your power, because being able to see so many things at once, being able to connect so many dots, again, could be a curse, because in this moment when you have this, when you can observe from so far away, the problem with little steps forwards arise, right? So you have to focus and zoom in much, much, much closer to see one concrete step in one concrete moment of reality. I feel that this could be your big problem here. So next card are going to show you what part of your magic, of your inner powers you already accepting. You know about them and you implement them in your life. Movement, wow, so beautiful. And what do you reject right now? Strength. So basically the idea is that both the power in movement and the power, like you have both of them, right? You have this strength also. But right now you're rejecting the idea that you have strength in you. Still, you think that you are a weak person. No matter how many things you did already in your life. And sometimes you can say, yes, I'm a strong person. But deep down in your heart, you still have your doubts about your strength. However, I see that it's beautiful that we have movement here, and again, we're going to read about this card. But right now, I already can tell you that you understand that there is a magic in the movement of your body, movement of your energies. The more you move, the easier for you to manifest the reality that you want in your life. I feel that you went through some history of learning how to accept your body and learning how to change your perception of your body also. So I see here that this card of movement is connected to the fire element, and the card of strength is connected to earth element. So I already can tell you that obviously it is easier for you to accept your fire element in yourself, moving, acting, doing something powerful rather than being stable, grounding yourself in earth, creating your powerful base. This is a bit more difficult for you. However, you can do it because it is your power, it is your magic. Physical movement can quick start major shift in our internal and external worlds. While the movement can take any form, keep in mind that the type of movement we do can invite in the emotions and experience associated with it. Intense and vigorous movement can help us access our motivation, power, and fire. Slow and methodical movements can help us tap into our deeper feelings, as is especially helpful in releasing, healing, and deeper work. When we move our body, we are allowing we're allowing any stuck or stagnant energies within us to flow, bringing space for the new. What type of the movement do you need? How can you incorporate this into your day or more? I feel that like the majority of those who decided to choose this group would be even connected to movement through your workplace. And this is obvious why I decided to choose this workplace, because you feel how you live through the movement of your body, and you know how this helps others. I feel that you could be a person who motivates others to move more also. The animal for this card is snake. Just about every culture in the world has feared and revered the snake. They have become a powerful symbol of rebirth and transformation due to shredding their skin. But there is so much to learn about the snake, especially from how it slithers. It has taken science a long time to understand how a snake moves, and moves fast without legs. Initially, it was thought that they used their immediate environment to propel themselves forward, pushing off the rocks. But eventually, it was revealed that they used their scales to create friction with the Earth's surface, even tiny grains of sand. And that friction, combined with contrasting their powerful muscles, pushes them forward. We can call on snake as a teacher for using the friction in our life as an opportunity for movement. And the stone that is connected to this card is fire opal. Fire opal is a stunning bright orange-red stone discovered in areas where volcanoes and hot springs have been active. Compare a volcano to our internal landscape. The magma, lava, is our life force, our passion and vibrancy. The layers of earth are the metaphorical blocks or limiting beliefs. I am too embarrassed to go to this dance class. I want to learn how to draw but hate not being good at something. Why I'm laughing? Because I just feel that some of you had those thoughts. Fire opal is the stone that helps us move through those layers of fear and shame, allowing our passion and lust for experience to take hold. Call on fire opal as a guide to restoring movement where you have stuckness. Beautiful. So basically, the fire opal could be this very important stone for you with which you can connect your power in your movement. And when you become stagnant by some situation, maybe you were sick for some time and you cannot move, or any other circumstances, you can use this fire opal to meditate with this, to connect with this, to put it on your heart, to put it on your belly, and to ask this stone to restart your engines inside your body. I also feel that many of you would be the generators in this group, because this is just like how your sacral, how your biggest engine in body works. It's fire, it's pure fire, and it can move constantly and without fatigue when you are in the right place, in the right time, obviously. So, strength. What about the power, the magic inside you that you do not accept or do not know about it right now? This card indicates a time where you need to tap into your reserve of strength and resilience. There might be things coming up in your life right now that require your courage and the willingness to be uncomfortable. Our ability to adjust to any transition, loss, or change will depend on our patience in riding out the storm. Sometimes we have to do this without a map. Whatever is coming up for you right now, understand that it will pass, and you just need to believe that you can move through it. So here we are. Lack of trust and lack of belief that you can do it. It's like, no matter that so many times in your life you already demonstrated your strength, no matter that so many storms bypass you and you were able to survive them, the extremely high level of self-judgment and perfectionism forces you to, again, reject the reality, and you do not realize that you actually you have this strength. You are a powerful person. It's just that, like, it's easier for you to continue feeling that you are a weak person because that allows you to, I don't know, to what? To what? Tell me, group number one. Why you feel that it's easier for you to think about yourself as a weak person? This could be a very good question. Orca. The orca is also known as the killer whale for its hunting ferocity, but is simultaneously thought of as a gentle giant. They live in the same pod for their entire life, and they rely on one another to hunt and protect the pod. In this way, Orca shows us that we are not alone. It encourages you to hold counsel and call on community as you navigate through rough waters. Interesting. Community, powers of your roots, connection to others. If you feel that you are not powerful enough, talk with those whom you trust. I guess they can show you how powerful you are. And the stone is labradorite. This stone can help you to cultivate your strength. Labradorite is a stone that can open up our psychic and intuitive abilities, while also strengthening our will and protecting our personal energies. It is helpful when we are working through challenges and need to protect ourselves from getting drained or taking on things that are not ours. It is also a teacher of paradox. When we feel the weakest, it is a reminder that at the opposite end of that spectrum is our power. While it may feel like polar opposites, they exist at the same continuum and you can transit between them. Use labradorite as a teacher of self-preservation and to help you see the strengths in your perceived weaknesses. I love to say that all my powers lie in my weak sides. I just love it because the fact that I am weaker in my body, the fact that I am more sensitive, and it's much easier for me to bear the consequences of any substances. For example, coffee or alcohol, I just can't stand them. I feel so bad after substances that other people can allow themselves to consume in bigger amounts just because their body is more resilient. And here is the thing. Because I have to reject and refuse from any amount of alcohol or from any amount of coffee, this helps me to stay in sober mind, right? This helps me to basically refuse from poison. Let's look the truth in the eyes. Both coffee and alcohol are poisons. It's truth. So in the end, I become more powerful than those people who consume those liquids because their body deteriorate. You understand me, you feel me? But mine not. So exactly my hypersensitivity and my weakness help me to refuse from something that harms me. And this is why I become more powerful, and this is why my strength grows in me. While in others, it can become weaker and weaker with every year. Here's the thing. So this card and the fact that you reject your strength, I feel also that you reject your weaknesses here's the thing. In your weak sides, there is a part of your uniqueness. You have to become very good acquaintance with your weak sides. Like you have to learn about them, everything. You have to be even good friends with your weak sides. Accepting them, knowing what they, like how they can help you or how they can serve you or how they can harm you. This is what's so much needed for you to be able to embrace your strength fully and totally. And also we should not forget about the fact that, for example, in tarot cards, the card of strength basically talks about self-compassion, first of all. And basically, self-compassion actually means everything that I said was talking about for the past 2 minutes. About accepting your weakness, about accepting your also animal inside of you, your fire and passion, when you become too greedy, when you become too maybe angry. Like, can you say that you can accept you being not perfect? And I feel that you can't. Many of you definitely can't. So come back to the base of your powers. Come back to the observation of others. If you cannot accept yourself, observe others. Find ways how to see. Like, I feel that you can learn so much from stories, from autobiographies, from documentaries, where people talk, or maybe from group therapy, right? Where you can hear how other people explain their problems. I feel that you can learn so much. You can start accepting your own truth much more, because all self-rejection and self-judgment that you experience right now, based on the fact that you do not want to observe as others as yourself, you close your eyes on some things that look not so serving in yourself for you, and this is going against your own nature. You have to observe with the, yeah, with no judgment. However, if judgment arises, you basically have to work on self-compassion. That's what I want to tell you. You have to find ways how to work with self-judgment. I can recommend you to ask yourself for forgiveness. I can recommend you to say, I'm sorry, I really asking for forgiveness from myself for the fact that I'm judging myself right now. And I forgive myself for the judgment, because I know that by doing this action, by judging myself, I was trying to help myself. Even if this action is very, very harmful, I did it only because I wanted to help myself. So I forgive myself for it. This is a very quick explanation of this action. However, if you're really interested in opening all those psychological things, you can actually order a reading with me, for example, on my Etsy page, and explain me what you're interested in, and we can discuss the stuff, and we can even create maybe the plan for you and work together on learning. I definitely going to work on this in the nearest future, and maybe create the option of like personal consultation even without cards, just because, like, hear me out, I'm a counselor, right? And I decided to work with cards more, work with doing my channel online. But the more I'm doing it, the more I realize that, like, I am rejecting my own power. Like, I'm powerful counselor. Every time when I help someone, I see how their life becomes better. So I definitely going to represent this option on my Etsy page, or maybe I will create my site where I will just offer personal consultations with or without cards. It's first time when I'm talking about it in reading, so maybe you will be exactly the person who is interested in. Just write me in my Etsy page, or order any reading and write it in the comment for the order. Anyhow, let's continue with your reading. And for this part of the reading, I want to use this very big white light oracle. And what is cool with this oracle is that it contains so much information. And what is more important, every card has the healing process section. You got the sacrament of extreme unction. I have no idea what does it mean. And this is why it's so good that we have the oracle book for you. I'm going to read about this card for you, but also the most important part would talk about the healing process that you can start implementing in your life to be able to tap into your magical powers more. Your heart knows how to let go so you can find peace. It is time for you to experience spiritual closure. A beautiful new reality is opening up for you. Entering it requires you to realize your attachment to the past. You have been inwardly preparing for a powerful rebirth. Now is the time to trust in what is meant for you and move toward it with an open, trusting heart and peaceful mind. I just realized that those two cards look so similar. Just look at them, right? Your card, the observer, with those two hands and light basically happening here, and even those wings here. And in this card, we also have two hands and light in the third eye chakra, and those things looks like wings of some creature. So cool. I love those synchronicities. In an ideal world, we would finish our inner work, be completely healed, check it off the list, and move on without any issues from the past intruding into our present life. In a more realistic view, we do our best to muddle through, gaining enough understanding and healing to attain some degree of closure, and move on as best as we can, flicking off remnants of the past which can arise even whilst we are doing our best to let go. In an even more challenging turn of our growth spiral, we might know something has run its course and no longer belongs to our world, and yet have trouble exercising the past and its pains, confusions, or attachments, so it bleeds through into the present, even though we know it doesn't belong here. To avoid the taint of the past causing unnecessary issues in the present, this oracle card brings powerful spiritual last rites, so you can be cleansed and liberated into the fullness of your next phase. In the Catholic tradition, extreme unction is performed at the time of physical passing to cleanse the soul and allow it to gracefully leave the body and enter the outer life. In the context of this oracle, the symbolic equivalent of the sacrament is the powerful intervention of spirit to free you from the grip of what has been. It is a liberation from habit and compelling lure of familiar. It is divine forgiveness and healing. This card just feels like an answer for my praise for the past few weeks. While spiritual grace will be with you always and blessings is always available to the receptive heart, this oracle wishes to bring to your attention the ending of a particularly stubborn pattern. As it does, you will feel greater freedom and a new lease on life, as if you are being born again within this lifetime. As the expression goes, every saint has a past and every sinner has a future. This oracle encourages you to embrace your future and let go of the emotional and psychological burdens you have been carrying for yourself and likely for many others, ancestors and more, for far too long. Sometimes we martyr ourselves to the pain of the past or even attempt to carry the suffering of others, holding it within our hearts as if that can alleviate the burden of another or create healing. All that happens in such instances is that suffering increases. Let yourself off the hook of guilt, shame, or blame. Give yourself permission to acknowledge that all people, including you, have done their best. The universe is offering you a powerful spiritual gift. Your heart knows how to receive it. Let go. There is no turning back. It is time to start anew. It is your time to be happy and free. The healing process. Hear me out. This is important. If you want to claim everything that was said before, that I read before about this card, if you're ready to embrace the new start, please go through this healing process. I'm going to read it right now. And if you have time right now, you can follow my instructions here. If you don't have time right now, you can turn on this part of the video a bit later. I will put it in the brackets so that you can access it faster. And you can listen my voice and follow those instructions when you are ready. So, healing process. Imagine, feel, see, or intend that you are resting within an egg of pure white light. It feels so beautiful, safe, and somehow ancient, familiar, and grounding to be in this egg of light. Allow it to be the right size for you, large enough to feel spacious, and close enough so you feel supported and held. As you rest within this spiritual egg of light, you may see, sense, hear, feel, or recognize at a deep level that sacred words and loving prayers are being said for you. These prayers come from the hearts, minds, and voices of luminous and light and higher beings who love you and are looking out for you. These words of blessing permeate the shell of your sacred egg of light. They gently infuse the space in the form of white light, which holds all the colors and all the sacred sounds. They ever so gently touch the top of your head, your eyes, ears, nostrils, lips, heart, throat, hands, genitals, base of the spine, and feet. You experience tenderness, unconditional love, peace, and merciful grace tending to you at an intimate and caring level. Within this egg of light, you can heal. You may see, sense, feel, or recognize that negative energy is expelled from all levels of your being, ejected out of the porous shell of the egg and towards the loving higher beings who know what it is needed for such energies to be healed. As you no longer carry these energies, you feel increasingly free. Any shackles around your soul fall away, becoming nothing more than dust before disappearing. You sense the seeds of negative karma being cleansed and dissolving in the light. Rest here for as long as you wish. You are blessed and ready to begin anew. When you are ready, slowly and firmly bring yourself back into the here and now by following the flow of your breath and becoming aware of any sensations on your skin. Ground and hydrate yourself. You have completed your healing process. I'm not going to add anything else because I feel that it would be not the right thing here. I just want to tell you that thank you for being with me in this reading. It would be very beautiful if you will go through this healing process. However, even if you just listen to my voice, I intended this practice to be still helpful for you. So I hope that it impacted you in the best way. And thank you for being with me, group number 1. I really would like to hear from you in the comment section if something resonated with you. And I'm going to see you in next readings. Bye. Welcome, dear group number 2. Your choice for today was this florid tower and card, the Creator. And this first card tells us about the base of your magic, of your true self. something from which all other powers in your life arise. And obviously, the creator just tells me that maybe sometimes you are too spontaneous. Maybe sometimes you don't want to think twice or even once, and you just want to do it here and now. You might have some problems because of this. However, on the other side, this is your power of this spontaneity, I guess, because your determination, your ability to go forward for what you really want is extremely precious in our world where so many people doubt themselves. Of course, you are not the unicorn, I guess, that can do magic absolutely at any time. Sometimes doubts creeped into your heart, into your soul, and you slow down a lot. So it's normal for you when you are in periods of your shadow or when you judge yourself a lot to actually slow down till the moment when you stop moving, even with your body. I feel it. However, you should understand that this is like, I will use word hysterical, but I'm not judging by this word because I apply this word uh, to describe the level of feelings, right? So there's so much negative feelings that you're trying to suppress that in this moment you automatically stop moving and developing yourself in many different perspectives. But for you, my dear group number 2, it is actually adequate to always move forward and to always create. And it is important for you to create not only on your workplace, but everywhere in your world. I feel that you are the person who likes to move your furniture a lot, I guess. Maybe even to move places, to move countries, who knows? Because you want to create new always, everywhere. And again, it could be a problem, especially for relationships, right? Because if we always want something new, there could be some problems. However, in an adult relationships where both partners always develop themselves, this won't be a problem because with our development, you might understand, we change so drastically, literally every half a year. So with the right partner or partners, you will definitely feel that like your life, that you create your life together and that is always different compared to what was a few months ago. So let's use our beautiful new deck to determine what side of your magic powers you're already accepting in yourself and what side of your magic powers you either don't accept, and it's normal actually to reject our powers because of negative beliefs that society gave us, or you just don't know about those powers still. So first is what you know. Higher perspective. So beautiful. So it's definitely the inborn ability to zoom out and to see much further than other people around you. You think globally. You think like about bigger things, right? So for some of you, it could be like issues about society could be really important. For others, if you, for example, an artist, you definitely have an idea to become globally known. It's not just that you want to be a local artist, something like this. But then on the other side, if we talk about your magical powers, this is what allows you to move forward and create things that are so much needed by people around you. Because you can zoom out again, you can see further in the future or further in the past, and you can understand what is needed the most right now. Again, if you, for example, help psychologically to some people, it could be for money if you're a counselor, or it could be just to your close people. You always give them these suggestions, or this perspective that just open their eyes and allow them also to zoom out. When they're too hyper focused on some little thing in their life, you are the one who will bring them this fresh air of the truth, because you might understand when we don't see the bigger picture, right? When we don't see the reasons why everything happening right now, you are the one who will show them those connections in your life. And also, of course, we see this beautiful eye with wings here. This is definitely talks about your powerful third eye and your ability even maybe to predict future. But let's read about this card in this book. And this card also is connected to the air element, which is nice and cool. It tells me that you are in good connection with your mind, right? And moreover, I feel here that your mind usually connected to your heart. In moments, again, when you feel a lot of doubt, you can definitely know that your mind is connected from your heart, and this is why you cannot use your power that is already yours. Like, it's important to mention that the creator, especially here, you see the magic wand, right? I have a tattoo with magic wand here. And it is connected to our third chakra here in my representation, our will power. And what does it mean? It means that if you want to use magical wand, if you want to change the reality with your idea, with your intention, you have to be really precise, and you have to move exactly in the moment when you have to move. There is only one chance to change the reality with your magical powers, 1% of the possibility to change it as you wish in metaphysical realm. And like, to be able to do it, you have to be very determined and careful. And as I said, move in a moment when you have to move. No doubts. And this is who you are. This is your power. You are a mage. You are someone who can literally manifest the reality with their words. That's also important to understand. And when you are in doubts, it's not the best time to make decision or to move forward. I know that sometimes like circumstances force us. However, for you, you have to learn how to tap into your higher perspective powers here and now, so that you can create those decisions from these higher perspectives, so that it is easier for you to be certain when you make a decision. I feel that for many of you here who are generators by human design, you can have sacral authority, meaning that you make decisions in the moment. Let's back to your card. As people who do their internal and spiritual work, we are less likely to be bogged down by drama or reactiveness that we know doesn't truly matter. But being human means that there are times where we can't help it. Sometimes it is easy to stay in a higher perspective and see all the moving pieces as they truly are. But sometimes life and the people around us are very good at stucking us into space of limited vision. This card is asking you to see whatever creation you are expecting resistance with from a higher perspective. And the animal that is connected to this card is hawk. Hawks have always been known for their pronounced vision and keen hunting skills. Most often they are seen circling while hunting for prey. Anyone who has observed hawks may have noticed that smaller birds often attack and antagonize them. This is called mobbing, and the birds are trying to drive the hawk out of the area. Very rarely do hawks really fight back. Instead, they conserve their energy and find a new area. Such as life circumstances may try to bring us out of our center, it is important to remember you have the option of choosing a new behavior and a new environment for yourself. Call on Hawk when you need an ally in rising above. Wow, so beautiful. The stone that is connected to this card is apophyllite. Apophyllite's energy is very much of the ethers. It is excellent at bringing higher consciousness and the human mind. A unique thing about apophyllite that many rock hounds will note is how many different forms it takes. It is easy to recognize when you know what you're looking for, but it can have many different colors and shapes. Its ability to take different forms is something we can tap into to access fluidity in perspective. Call upon apophyllite when you need support in accessing divine outlook. So the hawk and apophyllite, those two signs, those two sacred things can help you to tap into your higher perspective. So you can work with those signs, I guess, or even you can buy this stone, right? What about power that is not accessible for you right now? Maybe because you're rejecting it mostly. And we got versatility for you. Here it is. I received this card as a description of this year that passed for me. We used my new oracle to do some New Year resolutions, and I got this card. And what I can tell you, maybe you are a bit stubborn with your beliefs. It's like, it should be like this, and that's it. I don't see how else it can serve me, right? I don't want to think how it can serve me. You have a lot of like black and white mind perspectives. It's like this is good and this is bad, and it can never change. It's interesting with higher perspective how you can have this rejection, because usually this should allow you to see the versatility of objects, of situations, of people. But I see here some rejection of this and resistance, I guess, towards the ability to see the versatility, obviously. Let's read more about this card for you. Interesting that this card is also connected to the air realm, so there could be some problems with some fights in your mind are normal with yourself. Pulling this card may indicate a time where you are coming up against a lot of resistance, whether internally or externally. A lot of times we focus on one thing very intensely and push hard despite being shown that the timing is off. So interesting, oh my god. What can be helpful in those situations is to move on to other things so that the energy is freed up and you can go back to it when the timing is right. This card teaches us to be flexible and go along with what is being presented to us, even if it may not be what we want, rather than trying to force things that are not ready. It may also indicate a need for approaching the situation differently. If you don't feel it is about stepping back, examine how you can shift what is already there. As I told you, this is interesting, exactly, because if you have the power of higher perspective, is the base of your power is the creator, seeing how you're rejecting right now, that the world is a bit different that you saw it in your mind, seeing that universe giving you other paths or other circumstances that again you were expecting, and trying to reject them because you feel that this should not be like this. This is a very big problem in your life. No matter how developed you are, when something goes against your plan, you might really suffer in this moment. So the best solution for this could be the development of your trust to universe and to your fate and to your own actions, to your own intentions, because when you do many important actions towards your goal or dream as a creator, when you start moving towards it and everything falls into place, but then suddenly you experience this circumstance where you cannot move forward in the same pace, or where again universe or the world around you forces you to change that direction, you might be so devastated. I feel it right now. But you have to understand that you already did the main thing. You already created this huge intention. You are the powerful manifester. And what's happening in the moment when you need to shift your perspective is actually like moving you closer to your destination. It could look at as a detour on your path, but you have to understand that it is your path. And like sometimes we have to spend some time in situations that are so against our true nature and so against our manifestation, because those situations exactly what will give us the huge knowledge, confidence, and responsibility before us that we have to go forward for our dreams, and only we are responsible for changing this situation. We have to learn to stop blaming the situation around us, the people around us, and even ourselves. There is no reason and no need for blame, because if we want to move forward, we have to spend our brains on creation of those plans, how to move forward, how to change the situation, not on the self-judgment practices. I guess that's what I feel for you. And the animal that is associated with this card is a rat. The rat has proven that with versatility, you have staying power. Rats can be found anywhere in the world, and when introduced to a new environment, they adapt and reproduce quickly and are incredibly hard to eradicate. They learn how to thrive in just about any environment, despite its not being ideal. These creatures are skillful, resourceful, calculated, and social. Despite their negative reputation, rats are also known for their prosperous characteristics. Their ability to adapt is a reminder that with determination there is a reward. And as a psychologist, as a counselor, of course I cannot add here that there is a reason why we use rats in our medical labs, especially in psychological labs. I will not talk about other experiments because I don't know about them. However, I know a lot about rats in psychological labs, where we see exactly how they learn and how they adapt, how extremely intelligent those creatures are compared to their size and like overall. They demonstrate us how we learn. They helped us so much to see how we can adapt. And even I suddenly feel an urge to describe you this experiment. I know that it would be important for you. There was an experiment about rats and drugs, and they basically created an addiction for it. I know, I'm sorry. I'm really sorry for animals who used in labs. And if you have strong opinion, I would like to see it in a comment section. However, if I'll start to discuss this theme here, this video will last 3 hours. So unfortunately, the reality as it is, but it helped people who are addicted with drugs. So this is a difficult morally question, I guess. Anyhow, so they forced rats to be addicted to morphine. And they put rats who are addicted to morphine to the environment that was fully saturated with life. There was enough food, there was enough water, there were other rats healthy, there were playground for rats, safe space for them to create their nest. So everything that rat needs in their life. And they put other addicted rats to the closed cage with nothing in it. And what is most important, of course, both those cages got the open access to morphine. You might understand what was this shocking result. In the cage where all Red's needs were fulfilled, they didn't like and they didn't use morphine at all. In other cage, there was the only thing that Red could do with their life. Very sad, sudden story for you here and now. I hope it will give you some insights. So, versatility, ability to adapt. Maybe it is a sign for you to change the environment and to adapt to the whole new environment if you're struggling right now. Who knows? And you can do it. This, again, remember, maybe this is a power that is not accessible for you right now, but it is your power. You can be versatile. And it's beautiful. The stone is fluorite. Most people are struck by the shape that fluorite takes. It is commonly found in the shape of octahedron, shape with 8 faces. It can also be found in cascading cubic formations as well. This creates an almost transformer-like effect. It is a powerful air element stone, inviting us to shapeshift and create structure to quick changing thoughts and mental energies. Fluorite aids in harmonizing air and earth energies, grounding any mental chaos. Call on fluorite as an ally during times of quick transformation and fluidity in which you need to remain stable. And you chose the fluorite. Maybe it is time to work with this stone to increase your accessibility to the power of versatility. Here we are. And in this part of the reading, I want to use this huge white oracle. And it is huge and it is very deep. And what is most important, the part of the description of every card in this oracle contains healing process. So be sure that you can listen me carefully right now. This would be a long story that I'm going to read from the book. Usually it is a small meditation. So you can take some time and stop doing what you're doing right now if it's possible and actually spend some time in meditation with me. So basically I will guide you in this meditation. Or of course you always can rewatch this part of the video. So for your healing process, what do you need to do to be able to heal yourself right now overall? Our healing help us to work with our magic, right? We have perfume of Sapphire. So beautiful. Let me see. Even before I start reading it, just about perfume and Sapphire, right? You might work with your sense of smell. It can really help you to open your emotions. You will be able to sense the best timing and approach to take, to create space for healing and resolution. Connect to your body and ground yourself in here and now with body-friendly practices. You will find your way intuitively and instinctively, even through confusing circumstances where one moment you're sure the answer is no and the next moment you're sure it is yes. Give up trying to figure the answer out right now and remain open with positive but relaxed expectation that clarity shall emerge spontaneously according to divine timing. I'm just smiling right now. It's so beautiful. Everything that we talked before, but in much more beautiful words. Trust that your questions about your life will be answered. Even now, you are in the process of working your way towards the answers that will bring your clarity and higher understanding. There is a kindness in how the universe delivers a message. There is a story of 3 rabbits who went into a room and saw God. One rabbit dropped dead, the other went crazy, and the third one became enlightened. It was the same room and the same divine presence, so what accounts for the different outcomes? When we are ready for knowledge, divine guidance is incredibly helpful and healing. However, we may need certain experience to become ready. There is as much grace in veiling a truth as in revealing it. There is a beautiful Sufi teaching that destiny is granted with compassion. There is a time to prepare for knowledge, a time to receive it, and a time to leave it. I'm going to cry right now. Why it is so beautifully said. I want to learn how to talk in English so beautifully. But no, I'm going to cry not because of this, but because of that. That's exactly what I was trying to tell you. There is danger in trying to force knowledge. Force is the desire to progress faster than is naturally taking place. It is a disconnection from natural rhythms, the sacred feminine, the power of knowing and divine timing. This oracle card asks you to trust your nose. The spiritual symbolism of the ability to smell is the capacity for discernment. In the words of Juliet in Romeo and Juliet, a rose by any other name would smell as sweet. The nose knows. I want to add here about this part exactly because our sense of smell is the unique sense that actually that goes straight to our brain without going through the hypothalamus before. All other our senses go through the hypothalamus, basically the processing center, our rotor center, if I can say like this. But the sense of smell goes straight to the brain exactly because of the need for survival, right? Because our sight can be deceiving, our hearing can be deceiving, but sense of smell, like we definitely can say, is it foe or is it friend? So working with our sense of smell, developing it, can actually help us to become more accurate in our everyday life, more connected to our intuition. This sense connects straightforward to the part of the brain that produces emotions. So it's normal for people who reject their emotions to reject their sense of smell. And there actually was a case study in psychology where a person, because of the trauma of his brain, he lost his sense of smell. This person, with years, suffered a lot and it became worse and worse. And he fell into the deep depression and he lost his sexual desire. And there were many like behavior and emotional changes, and he actually described it that like he lost his will to live overall. So as you lean into natural timing rather than trying to force something to happen, you'll remain connected to your own ground of being. You won't be pushing to get ahead. You'll be in connection with yourself. You'll be able to sense with your body and soul that which might otherwise confuse your mind, with its tendency to argue first one way than the other. You will instinctively sniff out the truth of a situation. Then you shall be able to do something useful with this knowledge. Developing the patience required to see us through times when we cannot know something with trust, if such times evoke fearful and negative predictions, or anxiety based on the lack of belief that you can deal with whatever arises with grace and dignity, then work on those issues. Do what you can do now. Leave everything else to the loving and wise workings of the universe. If you are pushing for a resolution, an answer, an understanding before it is time for you to know, you'll feel frustrated. It will be more constructive and enjoyable for you to engage with what is. Will it require the development of your character, the capacity for patience, for trust and faith, for commitment and devotion, even when there is no evidence you shall succeed? Yes, likely it shall, especially if you are craving a part that is unique and creative. To live in such a way is wonderfully courageous and inspired and requires spiritual maturity. Aligning yourself with a greater wisdom and timing and surrendering yourself in its service is the basis of spiritual maturity. You will have your answers, and in the interim, you are doing beautifully. Continue with your journey, my beautiful creator. This is so important for you not to rush and know a lot about timing and accepting your timing. So here we are, our beautiful meditation. Interesting. This is not a meditation, actually. Those are some questions for your contemplation. So, healing process. What you can do to connect to your body, feel good and ground, and focus your energies in here and now. Some examples might be walking in nature, doing some stretchers or a full yoga practice, meditating, or breathing and relaxation techniques. Where can you do that for yourself? Make a plan to do it and stick to it. If there is something constructive that you can do right now, such as some deep, centered breath awareness or other form of meditation or conscious moment, do that now. That is your healing process. I love it. I actually love it. Usually it's a deep meditation here, but right now Oracle tells you about concrete actions, and I know that you love to act. I know it. And maybe if right now you're in period of stagnation, this is just a reminder for you that you love to act, you love to move, you love to do concrete actions that help you. So please do them. Make a plan. Do one action at a time. I know how difficult it sounds. For some of us, it's extremely difficult, but then on the other side, it doesn't matter if it's difficult or not. You're still going to do it for yourself, for your creative ideas, for your big picture that is inside your head, right? And just from me to you, don't be that harsh on yourself that you are not moving that as fast as you want. Okay? Seeing big picture can be a blessing and can be a curse. Seeing into future especially can be very difficult when you forget to see into the here and now. I think those were all messages for you, my dear group number 2. Please, I will be really glad to hear from you in the comments section, because I really want to build relationships with my viewers. And if you are interested in such content, and I studied psychology for many years, so I bring psychology into my spirituality every time when I do readings. And if you're interested in this kind of readings, please subscribe to my channel to see other videos from me. And I see you next time. Bye. Hi, my dear group number 3. Your choice for today was the Alchemist card and this beautiful star. And this card represents the base of your magic. We can say that it's like your true self or something like this, the source of all your powers. And before I read about this card from the book, I already can tell you that basically the base of all your powers is the ability to transmute, ability to take something that other people reject, work on this and create a gold from it. Also, I just feel that you are a person who loves to study a lot, because being an alchemist means knowing about structures, right? About deeper things. How can I say it? For example, if you're a psychologist, you could be interested in how brain works, even if it is mandatory for every psychologist to study brain. Still not absolutely everyone is interested in this. So it's like you are more into smaller things from which everything constitutes. Working with elements. Okay. The Alchemist card indicates a time of metamorphosis. It is a call to view everything in your current life as an opportunity for growth. Right now is a potent time to plant the seeds of what you want to invite in. It is also a reminder that our thoughts are incredibly powerful. We might not feel like we have a lot of control over our lives, but we can work hard at changing our thought patterns to ones that empower us. Whatever they are giving, the alchemist is able to transmute. They may have a handful of bad ingredients, but they are able to make magic with what they have. That's what I said, right? It can be a long process, but they hold a vision for the final product while continuing to show up in their negative situation and slowly work to transmute it. Someone who is in the shadow of alchemists may not believe in themselves. They may have both a fear of failure and a fear of success, keeping them paralyzed in their current situation. They can also minimize situations and keep their true feelings inside, as opposed to getting them out and moving on. A key to being an alchemist is naming what is happening so you can work with it. So beautiful. I love that they talk about shadow also. Fear of failure and fear of success are two pillars that do not allow you to move forward. And this is also connected to the fact that you understand the base of your magic. You already saw how you were able to transmute some situations, how you were able to find like benefits in something that on the first sight looked as a failure. And I feel that many of you already understand that there could not be such a thing as a major failure in your life, because absolutely everything that you experience give you something important, like you can use it. So it opens before you so many possibilities. It's opened before you so many roads that sometimes you might be lost in your ideas and desires. And like, I can understand it. What can I say? You need to work more on being grounded and on working with what is important here and now. Like, your next step should be about something that is the most important, the most essential and vital in this situation in your life. And of course, it is extremely important for you to have schedules and plans that would work for you, for your personality type. I'm telling this exactly because there are so many different ways how you can plan your life. If you feel that you're overwhelmed with your mind, you overthink a lot, there is so much energy in your head and you cannot transmute it, you cannot open the gates for this energy to the material world, I can definitely suggest you to use the easiest way is journaling. Why? Just because when you will write down absolutely any thought, no matter how structured it is, you already will transmute this energy from your mind to the paper, and this would be this important step that can turn on your ability to, again, transmute, to transform. So writing down might be not important only to then read about it, but also just for the fact that it would be a creation. Words on the paper would be your creation. Let's look more in this oracle and ask it, what your powers that you're already aware of and accepting? What's your magical powers that are something that you can use today already? And we have the seeker, so interesting here. You definitely know how to use Google. And don't laugh here. I know some people who don't know how to use Google. And it's always like, in a bigger picture, this actually talks about ability of the seeker. Not only using Google, but using other people, using situations to search the information that you need. Search the ingredients for your alchemical process, right? So the seeker indicates a need for energy, movement, vitality, and excitement. The seeker is childlike at heart and has faith that at its core, the world is a beautiful place. As we grow older, it is easy to lose touch with our innocence and sense of wonder. We have responsibilities, stressful home and work environments, external pressures, physical sensitivities, and disease. In the end, we get locked into our survival mentally, and we don't know how to break free. The seeker's message is one of reclamation. It is not so much about writing yourself off the stress, but remembering your essence. Slowly nurture your sense of wonder to all that is around you. You might feel silly at first, but keep working on it to balance out the negative. Replace statements of what if everything goes wrong with what if everything is exactly as it should be. Balance seeker energy is one of empowerment, curiosity, and confidence to navigate both the external and internal worlds. If seeker is out of balance, you may be pushing yourself onto the next thing, thinking that this may be your cure. An unbalanced seeker energy may also give their power away to others. As seekers, we must remember that we are gathering experience and wisdom for growth, not because we believe it is a prescription to fix our perceived issues. So interesting, so strange, and so magical. This is like, you definitely love to learn more, to search for the new information. And I feel that you have this extremely diverse range of knowledge, right? You know about dinosaurs, you know about dentist work, while you are actually an artist, for example. Exactly like this desire to seek more, to consume information, this was allows you to be so diverse in your perception, and this is your power. You can see the reality and current situation from so many different sides that it is rarely for you that you stuck on the problem for too long. Again, this is your power, and this is how you can help other people in your life, because you have this sense of wonder inside you. I just feel that this is a very interesting picture. We see teeth here and like seeds, I guess. I'm not sure about seeds, but teeth, I guess they told me about the tooth theory, right? So you can have this connection to fairy-like perception, and other people perceive you like a fairy, like a mage, someone who is mystical, someone who is maybe childish, but in a good way. You know how to play, you know how to laugh, and you know how to see beauty in little things. And this card, Get Creative, is representing the part of your magic that you're not accepting right now, or maybe you're not aware about it. And also why you might not be aware about it, right? Only because you're rejecting it. There is some reason for rejecting it. And with Get Creative, I already can tell you that you have some problems with your creations right now, or overall. It is essential part of your living, because as an alchemist, you have to create. You have to take all those ingredients, mash them together, and create something new from them. And as your shadow tell us that you might be afraid of success and both of failure, this is what might block your creative process in your life. Again, you might be an artist, or you can work on a less artistic job. However, I believe that all jobs more or less creative, you can find a way how to use your artistic abilities there. But even if you are not an artist, creation in your life, how you dress, how you create your, again, image, right? How you work with your home. Is it beautiful? Is it safe? Is it comfortable for you and for your inner critic, for your inner artist, right? So I feel that many things that you really want to do and you want to create, you struggle with it because you just stop yourself from being creative. Maybe there are a lot of negative beliefs about who can be creative and who cannot, in which situations it's possible. Let's see what card says. To be a human is to be creative, but it's easy to lose sight of this. From a young age, we absorb cultural stigma around the arts and creativity, that it is impractical and should take a backseat to more lucrative pursuits. But the truth is, creativity brings flow to your life. It finds openings. Without a creative practice, we can easily find ourselves stuck and uninspired. There are so many ways to be creative. You may feel called to rearrange your living space, or write, or take pictures. All of these things are great. Creativity is a way of life, not an activity. This card is asking you to look around and see what things inspire you. What do you feel called to create or transform? Think outside the box. Especially for those of you who have creative hobbies or creative projects, this is so extremely important for you to be honest with yourself right now and ask yourself what projects or what things I'm rejecting myself in. For example, I love doing anime music videos, edits, right? And for the past month, I'm thinking about doing a new edit, and I'm always like, don't have time for it just because I'm playing a lot in games, I guess, or maybe not. But I definitely know that the moment when I start doing this project, I will feel huge relief because it would be like a fresh air. Because every time when I do something creative that is not connected to my work, it just it feels so good. I don't know how to explain it. It's just so fun to do something with my hand and to see the result, no matter how beautiful it is. It's just so exciting to create something. So the animal that is associated with this card is the crow. The crow teaches us how to approach our current life with a creative edge. They have an incredibly keen eye for problem solving and using innovative ways to meet their needs. They have been known to make their own tools and use the world around them to their advantage. For example, dropping a nut in the road so it will get run over and cracked open when it proved too hard for their beak. Maybe you are not feeling inspired to tackle new projects. That's fine. Call upon Crow as an ally in meeting your current life with an inventive outlook. Right, here is the thing. If you feel stuck, maybe it would be cool for you to try to search for an innovative way how to solve this problem. For example, I have problems with filming those videos. These problems connected to my negative beliefs about work, to my, again, failure, fear of failure, fear of success, to many, many psychological problems, right? But still, I want to do this work, I want to film those videos, and this is a creative pursuit, right? So when I meet another wall, right, invisible wall that don't allow me to move forward and make a new video, I'm trying to find new, innovative, creative ways how I can overcome this thing. Sometimes it is about visiting absolutely new place and experiencing it with all my senses, not thinking about work at all. Sometimes it is very deep talk with my friend and opening my heart and exposing my fears before them. Other time it could be actually working on my physical routine, asking myself if I want to change something in it, and usually it is. And every time it is a new thing that helps me to continue doing my videos. So maybe if you're stuck in something, it's good for you to just, first of all, understand that no matter how difficult it is for you, you will still do it. Like, take responsibility for your dreams and desires on yourself and tell yourself, that's all right. This is difficult as fuck. And it is extremely harsh. And I'm crying and I'm dying and all of this, it's okay. But the fact is still that I will do it no matter what. I'm going to find a way how to motivate myself, how to overcome this. If you will have this perspective, you can also ask universe to give your new ways how to overcome some struggle. Yet you will be able to find a way. Like, it's, if you want, you will. Orange calcite is associated with this card also. So orange calcite is like a ray of sunshine that can pierce through all stagnancy and reinvigorate our passion for life. It is helpful when we have childhood wounds around creativity, but it can also support creatives who have reached a block in their projects. Call upon orange calcite when you have limiting beliefs or ingrained patterns that hold you back from your creative potential. Please, you can use this calcite if you want help from stones, if you use them. This is very beautiful. And for next part of your reading, we're going to use this white light oracle. I just realized that they're so opposite, this black oracle and white oracle. Anyway, and this, what is important with this oracle is that with every card, it contains the explanation of healing process. So I'm going to ask Spirit to tell me their suggestion for you on your healing process, how you can accept your powers and your uniqueness, how you can find and access to your powers that may be right now stagnant in you. Let's see. And we have the 528 gigahertz mandala of the heart. So beautiful. So I'm going to read the description of this card, and also healing process usually contain the full meditation in this oracle. So if you have time for this right now, it would be nice if you would find some quiet place and listen basically for guided meditation that I'm going to read for you. Or, of course, you can come back to this reading later to do it when you will have time. Or even if you don't want to come back to this reading, still just listening to what I'm going to read should help you, because I have an intention to fill my words with the healing energy so that it would be still purposeful and beneficial for you. Sometimes aspects of our life fall apart and don't go to plan. This is so they can come back together in a beautiful new way. Trust in the goodness, in the inevitable blessing of your destiny falling into place. Do not trust your fears. Put your faith in the love of your heart. A heartfelt wish is going to manifest. The mandala of the heart is the expression of the divine feminine power within. It is the life-changing experience of love, healing, compassion, deep repair, and restoration that can only happen when we feel safe and loved enough to truly let go. As we open to heal with the frequency of love in our hearts, we naturally evoke positive effects in the lives of others too. We attract positive intervention from spirit. Pathways open up and magic happens. Oh, so beautiful. Love is the part to the transformational, the alchemical and miraculous. Okay. All you need, yes, is love. You need some love in your alchemy. That's really important. Sometimes you forget about this ingredient, I think. It is the means by which negative patterns are reversed and the original purity and beauty of our innate spiritual perfection can manifest itself in all dimensions, including the physical. We may feel we are bumbling along, yet we are blessed with an invisible, powerful field of grace moving with us, ensuring that our actions yield the best outcomes and that we attract what we truly want and need. The heart has access to a wisdom more powerful than logic. To enter into that wisdom, we have to trust in something greater than our own opinions. Your heart is more than connected to the universal heart. It is a holographic emanation, part of the sacred mandala of the divine feminine heart, and, as such, holds divine genius and power. It wants to manifest that which is evolving, new, inspired, and beautiful. To believe that history must repeat itself, or that what we imagine is the limit of what can happen, is to deny the power of the heart and the generosity of divine grace. We need radical lovers and inspired dreamers who dare to invite in the most outlandishly blessed interventions of the universal heart for all beings. You have it within your heart to be one of those prayer alchemists for humanity. 528 gigahertz is the love frequency of creation. The choices, decisions, and projects inspired by love have countless and far-reaching positive effects. As we tune into that inner frequency, we connect to all hearts in a powerful alchemical network which delivers an infusion of divine protection and uplifting wisdom into the human collective. Priestesses, sound alchemists, and heart healers work with these frequencies, understanding their capacity to evoke the alchemical and the miraculous. These are our spiritual brothers and sisters, cultivating and radiating the consciousness of love, that soothing and courage-inducing medicine of the soul. In a reading, this oracle affirms that honoring deep soul bonds and sharing healing with your soul tribe is an important facet of your purpose. You have the power of love in your heart. It is the healing spiritual glue that can bring people together for a higher purpose. It inspires others and generates positive energy to lighten the emotional load many souls carry. When this card appears in your reading, you're being put on notice that the Divine Feminine has a vision for your soul and is organizing events accordingly. She will guide you through your heart, and with her protection, the manifestation of your soul path is assured. Isn't it the gentlest message you heard for the past some time? Because that's it for me. So, healing process. Take a moment to consciously connect to the flow of your breath. Let the breath flow in and out, and allow yourself to deepen and lengthen the breath, especially the exhalation. Lightly place a hand over your heart with reverence and respect. Allow your awareness to travel on the breath, going deeper and deeper, and dropping into your heart. You can feel, imagine, see, or intend that your heart is a sacred temple, a beautiful place filled with light and space. Rest within your heart with love and acknowledgement of its precious nature. If there is pain in your heart from this or other lifetimes, you can witness it gently and with compassion, thus allowing it to dissolve in the beauty, light, space, and love. Allow your sense of love for your heart and the love that your heart has for you to become strong and nourishing. Become peaceful and healed through your own heart connection now. You do not need to force anything. Love holds space for all experiences. You can rest in that sacred holding of the heart. When you have rested for long enough, ground and hydrate yourself. You have completed your healing process. I want to leave you on those words and not add anything additional. This is a part of your healing process, and I'm really thankful that you were here with me at that time. If you would have a desire, please leave a comment under this video. And of course, if you're interested in the readings where I talk about spirituality and also psychology, as I am a professional psychologist, stay tuned and subscribe to my channel. And I see you next time. Bye.